Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to it. It's a Saturday night, and we're getting set for the Collegiate Drone Racing Association Sim Tournament powered by MultiGP inside the official sim of MultiGP and drone racing worldwide, Velocidrone. My name is Joe Scully, and we're excited to bring it to you. It is a new format. This isn't the first time we've had a sim tournament with the Collegiate Drone Racing Association, but it is our first time to run a brand new format here tonight. We started with 12 teams at the start of qualifying a week and a bit ago, and we've nailed it down and narrowed that field down to your top 6 teams. We're going to run the teams in a ladder type format. We're going to start with 2 teams. The winning team of the 2 will move up to the next group. The next high seeds will be seeds 4 and 3. Then we'll have 3 teams running. The winner of that group will advance to our final, hopefully 3 teams at the end of the night, as we will crown our first ever Collegiate Drone Racing Association Team Race Sim Champion. Yes, sir. It is a relay race, getting us all prepped and excited for mayhem team racing in real life in a couple of weeks' time. Dallas, Texas. I think we're just under 2 weeks away from racing enduro style, but tonight with the CDRA in preparation for their championship, which is about a month and a half away, we're going to do some team racing. So inside the sim, we're going to start our first groups only have 2 pilots. So 1 pilot's going to start. Their goal is to get to 20 laps per pilot, 40 for the team. The first pilot takes off. They'll go through the recharge gate. That'll give them 1 lap. They'll keep going. Then they'll say 2 laps, 3 laps. That's enough for me. They'll go through that recharge gate, and the next pilot will be activated to start their journey towards their 20 laps accumulated. Once both pilots hit their 20 laps apiece, their time will be done, but it is an elimination bracket based on the seeding down to our top 6 teams. And so basically the first team to their 40 laps will be the winners. They'll take a little break to stretch the legs and come back and do it again. How long is it going to take a match? Not 3 minutes like most sim racing, not 90 seconds like most in real life racing, not 12 hours like we're going to see in 2 weeks at Mayhem. It is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes, we're guessing, here for each of the teams to accumulate their max 40. As we work our way up the ladder, the teams are going to be featured with 3 competing pilots, so lap counts will change a little bit. The goal remains the same: be the top team once all of your pilots have completed the required number of laps, and we get set to go in to the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Championship. Let's take a little look at our track that we're going to fly through here tonight so you can get acclimated if you haven't downloaded the track in our sim yet. Starting things off, that first gate. Now we go over to the middle of our field. A little bit of a double, lots of doubles as we go. Wow, inverted. Was this Henry flying this? I like his style around the turning pole, the turning tree. Now we go up high on top of those bandos. Let's do a little down ladder, a little bit of a dive in the middle. Now we're going inside the bando section. We are just about 3/4 of the way through. And now over to a dive cube. Yes, guy. Around our turning pole. And there's that recharge gate to the left as we get set to go on another lap here in a moment. That is a look at our track here, featuring on lap number 2, but that recharge gate is what I was touching on. Once the pilot is done their lap and ready to pass the torch, as it were, in our enduro, they will go through that recharge gate. The next pilot will take off. And again, here with our first group, featuring 2 pilots from Oregon State University and University of Central Florida. They're racing to 20 laps per pilot, 40 for the team, to see who's going to advance a little bit later on here tonight to Group 2 versus Missouri University of Science and Technology and Purdue. And the top 1 team, top 3 pilots from Group 2 will advance to our finale tonight versus Virginia Tech, Northeastern University. And 1 of the next 4 teams that will feature in Groups 1 and 2 will be advancing to the big finale here tonight. Excited to have each and every one of you with us here on the MultiGP YouTube channel. We say hello to Jay Sharp, Cowboy with a camera, Gabriel Abaya, Show Your Listing, West FPV, all with us on the MultiGP YouTube channel. And our room manager, Two Dog, says he's set to go green on this one. Let's start the party. Group 1 going green to kick off the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Association Sim Tourney. And of course, like every race, going live in lesson 5. And there is the go tone. We are underway. The yellow is UCF, University of Central Florida. The red is Oregon State University. Alexis 1955 on the sticks right now for UCF, and Subsonic Sam on the sticks for Oregon State University. And Subsonic Sam jumped into the lead for a second. Alexis 1995 reclaims the lead at about gates number 25 there, as there's 33 gates comprising of a lap, and your leader on to lap number 2, Alexis 1955, leading by 3 gates. Now, that sounds like a bunch, but remember, it is not. There's a great look on board of Alexis 1955, top left of your screen. Of course, full screen on the chase cams at the top of the bando. Right now, we're about 2/3 of the way through the track, coming out of that bando section. Meanwhile, Subsonic Sam is just about 3 gates back. Alexis 1955 on to lap number 4. Alexis 1955 says 3 is good enough for me. And we launch Brisket. Jacob Briggs at UCF now up in the air, chasing down Subsonic Sam. So they are 1 in rotation apart, right? We've launched our second pilot for UCF, and we're still burning some lipo with our first pilot from Oregon State University. Now there's a switch there for OSU. As Subsonic Sam comes down and Fuzzy Jeff takes off. So looking at our lap count right now, the totals are on the right-hand side of your screen, and OSU is now leading by just a few. So looks like Fuzzy Jeff is doing some damage here for Oregon State University. Put them back in the lead on this one. They're on lap number 6. I think it's 6. I got to do the quick math. Looking at the red, yeah, they are on lap number 6 right now, as UCF on lap number 5. And they're 6 done, on to lap 7 now. We take OSU.
Go ahead, Alexis.
And so, looking at OSU leading the charge here. And it's just over a lap. Just over a lap. I can, thanks to G-Man, good friend of ours at MultiGP and with Velocidrone as well, has tapped into some of that new innovation with Velocidrone and coded a WebSocket that they're currently using in beta. I would say more alpha with VRL. And we talked about this format that we're running here for the Collegiate Drone Race Championship. So he has made a little retool to the web tool, as it were. And so behind the scenes here, we can tell you how many gates they are apart there, even though it shows them a lap apart. Looks like as we are flying hot right now with Alexis 1955 back on the sticks for UCF, that deficit was about 70 gates at one point. Yeah, it was almost to just over that 2-lap mark, right? So 66 gates would be 2 laps back, and Alexis 1955 coming in to recharge, launching Brisket again. They are back, and they are 45 gates back. So that's a lap and a quarter. And so 20 laps per pilot, 20 times 2 is 40. Math is easy here to start things off in group number 1. And so we're about midway. We're about 25% of the way through.
Oh, snap.
as OSU working on lap number 11 and UCF working on lap number 9. Brisket flying again for UCF. And Fuzzy Jeff grinding for OSU. Of course, tonight we'll crown our CDRC Sim Champion ahead of our 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Championship this year, going to be at the University of North Carolina, Carolina Drone Research Lab, and Lampe Joint Department of Bioengineering. They do a lot of science. We're going to do a lot of drone racing. No research required. That research is in the past, and now it comes down to pilot skill. That is coming up April 5 to 6, just a couple of weeks away, 3 weeks away. And of course, if you're unable to make your way to Chapel, North Carolina, we'll have all the action here on the MultiGP YouTube channel. Fuzzy Jeff coming down, Subsonic back up in the lead. And OSU is now leading by 2, working on lap number 13, as UCF here working on lap 11. So the lap total that you see on the screen, by my quick math, double checking just the information as it's presented to us here, that's what lap they're on. And when I say that with a lot of certainty, that's with 75% certainty. We'll know when the checkered flies at the end here in group number 1. But again, we want to see those big numbers at the bottom at 40. And as you look right below me there on the screen, you want to see each of those pilot totals on the left-hand side at 20.
Alexis, go.
You see kind of even right there, even totals with OSU's Subsonic Sam and Fuzzy Jeff. Looks like they're keeping their lap count about the same. And if they're successful here winning group number 1, they'll be advancing to group number 2. And with a slight advantage, already hearing here behind the scenes, a little bit of strategy change on the number of laps collected is Subsonic Sam again in the air for your leaders, OSU, and just pulled on 50% prop damage.
Coming in.
He comes into land, and up we go again with Fuzzy Jeff. Looks like we need to catch up there on the automation there. There we go. We watched the land, and now we're watching our leading pilot for the leading team. Fuzzy Jeff Theory on the sticks for Oregon State University. So, of course, 12, I think it was 12 teams that worked for qualifying to tonight's championship. Top team was Virginia Tech in qualifying. OSU, Oregon State University here, 8th in qualifying. And UCF was 11th in qualifying, and they were up a weight class there for a little bit, as we're now looking at a deficit of about 4 laps. Still with Fuzzy Jeff for your leaders. West FPV in the YouTube chat cheering on Purdue. Well, Purdue is waiting in the wings. The end of this group, they'll be competing against Missouri University Science and Technology. And the winners here of group number 1. As we approach the midway point, advantage right now to Oregon State University, but 5 laps out of the 40. The deficit right now for University of Central Florida to try and catch up. Brisket trying to keep that lap count a little tighter, as we are right now featuring Fuzzy Jeff full screen, well, at least on the left-hand side, the chase cams as well, working his way up to the top of that bando, working on his 12th lap. And so behind the scenes, we have capped the pilots at 20 laps.
Okay.
And so even though Fuzzy Jeff has been pounding the most laps for the leaders, Oregon State University, his partner is now flying on lap 9. That's 3 laps back. So it could be a lot of flying and recharging in the final throw. So just as tight as it was there in the first 7 laps, we may see the slowest race to the finish at the end. And there is an advantage flying consistent. You look at the lap totals there for Brisket and Alexis 1955. They each have 8 recorded. Now Brisket is about to go on to lap number 9, so they're back on the lap count, but they're more even. As you look to Subsonic Sam, he has about 1 lap more than Brisket. And so that could be where the catch-up is. We'll see. Subsonic Sam now trying to catch up a few of those laps as we're watching low side over to that low double. We're about 1/3 of the way through lap 11 for Subsonic Sam of Oregon State University. We're on lap 23 for Oregon, lap number 18 for Florida. Past that midway point for, I guess, the collective of both teams combined, and really setting it up for, do we see a little bit more consistency at the end? Millennial Falcon cheering on all the teams. Best of luck, teams. I like that. Go drones. Everyone a drone pilot. West FPV asking, how long have they had to grind this track? That is a great question. Qualifying opened about a week ago, so let's say about
today.
Some of them had the opportunity to go a week, and some of our pilots tonight, well, they downloaded it today. Get a couple laps in. See how it plays out. So Oregon State University holding this lead here by 5 gates. They're working on lap 25 as Yellow of University of Central Florida working on lap 20. That's a lot of gates. I want to say 142 gates right now, the separation. But again, you have Subsonic Sam of Oregon State University, 13 laps recorded to his partner's 11.
Oh my goodness.
So you're talking 2 gate difference right there. But Alexis 1955 for UCF is the same as the second pilot on the leading team. So we can see how this could catch up in a hurry, because once the faster of the 2 pilots is done, the second fastest is going to have to finish up. And as we progress through our program here tonight, then you're going to add another pilot into the mix. It's going to be a lot of math and science here, a lot of strategy to try and get those laps out of the way in a hurry. Obviously, pit changes will come into play. You lose a little bit of time on the transition. When is the ideal time to make that pit stop? Especially when you need that lap count at the end to be equal. Xer corrected me. It's 5 days. Yeah, so when I said a week, I meant a business week. A week of business, Monday to Friday. Xer asking how many laps we're doing. 20 laps per pilot, 40 for the team. And so once one pilot hits their 20, it is going to be a long race for the second fastest pilot to catch up. First team to get their pair of 20 laps in will be advancing to our next group. And we are just past the midway point now, as your leaders, Oregon State University, working on lap number 30, and University of Central Florida working on lap number 23. It's a team endurance race in the sim to crown our 2025 team champions. Now, behind the scenes, we do have data on lap times, but there is no I in team. There is in win, though. We'll be crowning our winning team here tonight ahead of our 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Championship in Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina, April 5 through 6. We'll be racing IRL. There will be a team component, but when it comes to the Collegiate Drone Racing Championship really comes down to individuals. The team podium decided based on top 3 pilots from each team. So you want 3 good finishes, at least 3. Some, I think one team had 6 pilots one year. It's your 3 best when the final tally comes in at the end. And those points all getting totaled up to crown the team champions as we crown an individual champion. That's in the future. And here in the present, we are 3/4 of the way through for your leaders. Oregon State University back in the air. Subsonic Sam. Again, trying to catch up on those laps. Behind the scenes, strategy coming in from his partner saying, hey, man, just get 5. Try and get this number up. I know we've been doing a 2-lap and a 3-lap. Now it's time to go 5 just to get our total closer. Finish this, make it official, advance up to group number 2. First time we've run the format, but how wild would it be to see a team go from the bottom of the grid all the way up to the top, 6th or 5th, win in the sim and in real life. Track time is very paramount to finishing order. Pack after pack, lap after lap, learning those lines, trying to improve those lap times, as it were. Subsonic Sam halfway through lap number 17 of his team's 27. Of 35, rather. 35 numbers. So many numbers. 17 and 17 is 34. 34. And he's working on his next one. 35. Looking at Florida's 27, turning 28. Still with that deficit, but we'll see how it plays out. Looks like a couple issues there for Subsonic Sam. Got 100% prop damage, was still able to fly over the line in real life. Just bend it back, launch the quad again. If it's like Mayhem, should be good to go. That'll do. Use a plunger, it'll pop out. Fuzzy Jeff now back up. Trying to catch up. Subsonic Sam has 2 laps to go. Fuzzy Jeff has now 3 laps to go. So 5 to go for Oregon State University. Now 4 laps. This one is about done. We may have our first bump up of the night.
Just do 1 lap.
Unless we see some more of that 100% prop damage. Could happen. Stranger things have happened in the sim and in real life as well. Fuzzy Jeff launching and on his second last lap. Really working that 2-lap strategy, and that's how they're going to finish here on their 20. 1 to go. White flag flying for Fuzzy Jeff, and his partner still has 2 laps to go, so 3 to go for the team, I believe. The reason I say 3 and the count is 39, it's because it's counting which lap they're on. So as they go through that recharge gate, it advances them 1 number. And so Fuzzy Jeff now has collected his 20. That means 2 to go here for Subsonic Sam. And so it'll show us a 40 as we get on to that 40th lap here for Oregon State University in the red. As we are now featuring the gold of UCF here, taking a little bit more time on the track. But with the Lexus 1955 on here, just a little more time on the sticks. See what a deficit can be and see how that plays out, how it ranks out over the balance of our evening here tonight as we now go on the final lap for Subsonic Sam, the final lap for Oregon State University. There's 20 gates to go, and we have our first group champion of the night. And we're going to see, does OSU bump their way up through the grid? Qualifying the number 8 spot of our 14 teams that posted a point here in qualifying. And there it is. It's official. We have to total up those seconds. Looks like 1,111 plus 1176. 1111 plus 1176. That is 2287 divided by 60. 38. Is that right? It wasn't 38 minutes.
I think it just shows the. Just look at the later time is the total.
Oh, the later time would be the team. Good call. So that would be 1176 will be the time to give the win to Oregon State University. Divided by 60. Yeah, it's 19.6. 19.6.
Oh,
It's going to be 3 teams of 2 in the next one. All right. So 19 minutes, 36 seconds will be the official time. As we do a little bit of work here behind the scenes. And so our congratulations, 1936. Let's put it right there, 19.36. Uh-oh, it's not let me type it in. Is there anywhere I can type in? OSU. Nope. Here we go. OSU 1936. So we are doing a little bit of shuffling there behind the scenes to get our next teams in the lobby. And it looks like we may have some attendance issues. So they are sorting things out there behind the scenes. And we will get them in our lobby. Our next group going to be Oregon State University, again, 8th in qualifying, who advanced up, made it work, doing their 40 laps in 19 minutes, 36 seconds. Sounds about right. And that means we will then bring in your next 2 teams. Purdue, the number 4 seed overall over our field of 14. And Missouri University of Science and Technology, number 3 seed. And just making sure we get all of our pilots in the room. All our pilots getting set to fly. And then we will figure out just how many pilots, how many laps we're going to have them do in our next session. Of course, this is one of our 2025 big events. Super stoked to bring it to you here on the MultiGP YouTube channel. Tonight's production brought to you in part by HD0. Feel the HD resolution with near zero latency. HD-0.com. We're seeing it on the big quads, the middle-sized quads, and even the micro quads as well. They have that HD camera for all the setups. And of course, a lot of big major events using the Event VRX video receiving system that allows an organizer to run their event and be able to host pilots in analog or digital. And it does the switching, just one device that the event organizer sets up. It's really revolutionized not only obviously that video downlink, but also the production as well, allowing us to bring you some excitement as well. And of course, the Event VRX now has a V2 coming soon in beta. I think there's only 2 units in the world, but more are coming, and improving the connection, but giving the organizers a chance to connect a whole bunch of them together. And so last weekend, they were flying at the Airplane Museum and they were able to set up 2 around the track. And so as they flew their drones, so the pilot flew their drones behind the planes, the different receivers were picking it up, really improving the video experience and the competitive experience for our pilots as well. HD0, the name that leads the game in that video downlink, great partner of ours, and we're super stoked to have them back in the 2025 season, and looking to see some of that new technology in play. And maybe in 2 weeks' time, when we head to Dallas, Texas for the 9th edition of Mayhem, the only team race of its kind, 12 hours from dawn until dusk. One pilot takes off for each team, comes in and lands, kind of like what we're seeing in the sim, except there is no 20-lap limit. We fly for over 12 hours. And that big race in its ninth edition coming up here 2 weeks' time. If you're not able to join us in Dallas, Texas, of course, you'll have all the action here on the MultiGP YouTube channel. I also want to thank our friends at Team Black Sheep TBS, Real Serious Toys, team-blacksheep.com. Thanks to Trappy, one of our very first sponsors of MultiGP, and with us every event, every season, and supporting pilots, of course, with their great technology. When it comes to analog, it was the video transmitter of choice of racing pilots as analog kind of hit its peak, and of course digital started to make that transition. It was the name that leads the game. Still seeing a lot of TBS when you see that analog, and of course now renowned in that control link with their tracer, crossfire, and more, allowing pilots to fly in those precarious locations like through planes, behind planes, which is a very difficult place to fly a drone, to have that control link with the RF environment, or also for long range as well. And TBS, that company, came to fruition with a wing. If you want to know about the true history of FPV or first-person view, you can read all about it. And now definitely with that control link, allowing many to fly wings at a longer range than the average setup.
Sorry, can you
And a great supporter of ours. Thank you, Team Black Sheep. Couple final changes underway behind the scenes as we get set to grid up our bump ups here in our team brackets.
Ready.
We still doing 20 per pilot? 25 this time around. So it looks like we have the top 2 from each team in attendance, and we're about to go green. Your bump ups, Oregon State University, along with your number 4 seed Purdue and your number 3 seed in qualifying Missouri University Science and Technology. We're about to go green. 25 laps per pilot. That is going to be a grand total of 50 per team. Let's go green. Say hello to Props Off, joining us here tonight on the MultiGP YouTube channel. Going to see him very shortly as well. We are starting that 10th season of MultiGP drone racing. Super excited to bring it to you here. Not our first event, but we are having a good time. And we are underway. Your leaders right now going to be the Turquoise of Purdue. Groovy on the sticks, working on lap number 2. Your bump ups from Oregon State University right now sitting second. They're only about 6 gates back on that lead lap as well. Subsonic Sam coming in hot. And the green is Missouri with Billy Bob Stuff, the opening pilot. And now about a lap back from our leader. We'll see how that plays out. Groovy gets 2 laps down for your leaders, Purdue, as we launch your next pilot to work here, Fitz FPV. Right now on board the left-hand side with your leader, Subsonic Sam, and found out in that first round that accumulating as many laps as possible is the best strategy. And so he's going to try and get 3 in before he comes in. Billy Bob Stuff in the green is on a 3-lap pace as well, running second, but about 10 gates back. Now we look at Subsonic Sam. That's who we're watching there in the red, leading for your bump ups, Oregon State University, on lap number 4. There's 25 laps. There's 2 pilots per team. And Subsonic Sam trying to make a statement, has about a 16 gate lead over Billy Bob Stuff of Missouri, third overall in qualifying. They're your highest seed in this group. And it looks like Billy Bob Stuff is going to try and do 6 laps. His partner Xer has yet to take off. That recharge gate may be in the distance, but this is the first time we've seen that many laps accumulated as Missouri University Science Technology taking the lead over Oregon State University. And now we launch our second pilot here for your leaders, Missouri. And that's Xer now starting his first lap. Running second right now is going to be Missouri. They're your highest seed in this one. 5 laps recorded for Billy Bob Stuff. Xer running on lap number 2 now to try and keep it up. And now we look to Purdue, 4th in qualifying, and they got Groovy on the sticks. There's a look at Groovy, left-hand side. You can see a little bit of a faster pace than what we've started with here tonight. Fitz, his partner, got 5 laps recorded. Groovy is now on lap 4. See if the 5-lap pace is what it's going to take here. And right now they are leading by just over a lap. We're talking just under 62 gates. So that is literally just over that lap mark, just under 2. That is a pretty good lead. About 55 gates now. As Groovy staying out there on lap number 6.
Going in here, Jeff. I got bad drops.
So we're talking about 3-lap paces. They became 5-lap paces. Now Groovy going to try and post 6 on his opener. And looks like he is staying out for a 7th. Now that is tough math. That would be 4 packs, right? 3 7s and 21, and then so that'd be 3.5 packs if he's able to maintain this. And into the recharge gate we go for your leader, Groovy, part of Purdue. They were 4th in qualifying, or 2nd highest seed in this one. We launch Fitz FPV next. Groovy, we're looking at Groovy's feed there back at the takeoff blocks, watching everyone else fly by. So look right now, 2-lap lead for Purdue. They're currently sitting on lap number 14, and we are tied in 2nd right now with Oregon State University and Missouri University of Science Technology. Looks like Missouri is in 2nd by about 32 gates. So there was a lap difference right there. Yeah, 30 gates. So it's just under a lap. Missouri in 2nd over Oregon State University in 3rd. As we're watching some gapping now. Fitz FPV working on lap number 8. I believe he did 6 his first pack. You see that lap count changing a bunch. The turquoise is Purdue, your leaders. 2nd in the green, Missouri University Science Technology. 3rd, Oregon State University, your bump ups. We're going to see some changes here. Just a few. Looks like in our testing, we're having some issues with the onboard team total, but now that we're racing for real, broadcast is on. Lap count on our left-hand side there behind our chat is live as well. So, Two-Dog, whatever button you push, that was the right one. Yes, sir. You pushed them all. That's what I do. Just hit one until it works. course, as we look to things there in the past and in our format, want to thank Ash and the team at Velocidrone also making some changes here as well, as they came up with a plan. Said, well, what's the limit? Well, you can, the max you can do is 20. We're like, oh, well, we want more. Come on, we want more. Don't let us tariff this. And so Ash said, okay, no problem. And he added 5 more. So we are able to, when we get to group number 3, we'll see. Will it be a 30? It could be, thanks to Ash. We asked, he delivered. So we are now just about at that midway point as your leaders Purdue working on lap number 20. But look at those totals. Those big numbers are pretty close, huh? 21 to 18 to 17. Less than 4 laps separating our 3 teams here at about the midway point of group number 2 of 3. Our Collegiate Drone Racing Association, Velocidrone Tournament, Team Racing Enduro Style, and Missouri University Science Technology. They qualified 1 position higher than Purdue. They trail Purdue, but you look at those numbers, they are getting closer. It looks like they have gained a lap here in the last few. As we're looking at Groovy right now. Ooh, Groovy with a mistake here and oohs and ahs in the behind-the-scenes pilot chat as well, as he works on lap number 11, same as his partner, Fitz, for Purdue. Each of them on 11. Groovy trying to take this torch on to lap number 12. And, well, says, no, I smashed into too much stuff. Props aren't what I want them to be. And we launch Fitz FPV for Purdue, your leaders. And they currently sit with about a 2-lap lead over Missouri University Science Technology, running in second. They are 30 laps back, so still under 2 laps. That's under 2 laps. Even though it shows you a difference of 2, it's just under. Difference of 30 gates right now. Less than that. Holy, we are on the gas and going fast. Billy Bob Stuff doing some work. And as I say that, there's the announcer curse. He crashes out. And who's flying strong there? That's Fitz FPV for Purdue. He is working on lap number 13 for him. Lap number 25 for the team. That was after Groovy had a good start, but a rough lap and passed the torch to his partner. And they're still keeping him honest right now. But Missouri University Science Technology now keeping their deficit from our leaders under 50. Yes, sir. They're up to, well, 50 gates. It was at 45 a second ago. That is still under 2 laps, or 33 gates per lap. So 66 would be a true 2-lap lead. And again, they're keeping them within 50 gates. Right now, 53 gates. Purdue over our field, working on lap number 27, still with Fitz. Fitz comes in, and Groovy launches for your leading team, Purdue. Lap number 12 for him, lap number 28 for the team. Now that 2-lap lead is getting tighter. 41 gates separates first to second. Oregon State University running third. They are your bump ups from group number 1. They are about 3 laps back from second. But still going to finish pretty solid here.
Pitching out.
I could put them 5th overall. That's a gain of 3 positions from where they qualified. So nothing wrong with that. But of course, this one is only about 3/5 of the way through. I guess you could say 60% the way done. Groovy trying to do another 7-lap run. We'll see. He had some huge issues earlier. You see See the green trails coming up behind him. That was Xer, but then Xer brought it in. Looks like Xer had some issues. I was watching the FPV feed of Groovy. I saw Xer, and now I look at Xer down and out. Oh no, that's not gate count. That's lap count. So he went down on. He came in, and he came in on lap number 16. Now we're looking at big numbers. We're looking at well, still 2 laps. Our leaders over the rest of the field. Fitz FPV. Now on to lap 17 of his 25 to accumulate. A 1,000 gates done for Fitz FPV and Groovy. Fitz still flying for your leaders, Purdue. You're looking at about 59 gates to the good. So just under 2 laps. Anything could happen. You'll see those lap counts going to try and even up here in the final throws. Fitz gets on to lap number 20. That's 6 laps to go for him. 7-lap pace. So gonna have to come in here maybe after this one. We'll have to see. Seeing prop damage coming in here for Fuzzy Jeff, Oregon State University, taking a look at those digits. Just under 4 laps out of second. And not too bad either. Looking at about 6 laps off of our leader. Lots still to go. Isabella Marie cheering on our leaders, Groovy and Fitz of Purdue. Fitz comes in, Groovy takes off, and Groovy now working on lap number 17. Looks like we got 21 recorded for Fitz FPV. We have 16 laps recorded for Groovy. So about 12 laps to go for the team. Quick math. Gibson Murray saying, got some tough pilots. He tough. Nikki Bradford says, that's got to be a new lap record. We're seeing some hot laps here for sure. But again, looking to get both of our pilots to 25. Groovy now on lap number 20, halfway through lap number 20. And now we're seeing a little bit more of a lead. Remember, it was just under 2 laps. Now you're looking at over 3 laps right now. About 4.8 laps is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Almost 5. But for the first time here watching our leading team, we actually seen people crashing out a little early. As we launch now, Fitz working on lap number 22, now on to lap number 23. Your two Purdue pilots basically have now evened up. As we look to Missouri University Science and Technology, they're running about even now as well. In the green, Billy Bob Stuff flying. And he gets on to the same lap as his teammate, so they're flying pretty evenly. And looks like even Oregon State University is keeping those lap counts accumulating about the same for each pilot, so that that momentum can finish strong, both pilots. You're going to lose a little bit of time on the transitions. And again, seeing some, at least with our leaders, Purdue staying out there for 7. Fitz FPV working on lap number 25. Halfway through lap number 25. Probably going to stay out there for at least 2 more. If I remembering things correct. Nope. Makes a liar out of me. Comes down and it looks like it shut him down. 25 laps. 25 is the number. He is done. He doesn't need to stay out there for 2 more. Looking at Groovy now working on lap number 2. He has 3 laps to go. So 25 completed by Fitz FPV. And now Groovy. 3 laps to go. He works on lap number 23 now. So he had some pretty big crashes in his first pack or two, getting that prop damage. But now just going to fly smooth, almost a little bit of a victory lap, even though his teammate is finished. 2 laps to go for Groovy and Purdue. Looks like it is going to be all but official to move Purdue into our finale tonight versus your top 2 teams in qualifying. Northeastern University second in qualifying, and Virginia Tech waiting in the distance. Looks like tonight they are going to be battling with our bump up from group number 2. Groovy now on his final lap into the checkered, and we get it done. 25 and 25, 50 laps in 1,149. So 1149. What does that equate into? 19.15. 16. That should be quick math, but it is a little later here. So that is 19 minutes, 9 seconds, 50 laps in 19.9. So they did 50 faster than our winners, who did 40, 1936. So they did another, 10 laps, about 20 seconds faster, 27 seconds faster. And that is going to move Purdue up into your final here tonight, and our first ever collegiate drone racing sim championship. And so behind the scenes, switching people up, and it looks like we're going to do the exact same number of laps, 25 per pilot, 50 for the team. And as I look here, looks like we almost got 50 recorded as well. Second place in this one, Missouri University Science and Technology. We got your 25 in for Billy Bob Stuff, and looks like Xer came in on lap number... No, Xer is going to finish up here behind the scenes. There's the green. Watch them go by. And so they will get their 50 as well. 50 laps in 1,265 seconds. Finish up in the number 2 spot here in this group. That is going to put them 4th overall. And good showing as well for Oregon State University. Again, qualified a little lower. Qualified 8th, I believe. Was it 8th? Qualified 8th and finished up in the number 5 spot overall.
So we still need our 3rd pilot. Is anyone wanting to join Purdue's team?
And we will get our pilots in line there behind the scenes. Say hello to Double A joining us as well here tonight. Always excited to see him. Our first ever admin or mod of the MultiGP YouTube channel. What's up, Double A? Gonna see him here in just a few months' time. The 2025 International Open. Super stoked to have that as part of this 10th season of MultiGP drone racing, getting its start way back in the day. Holy guy, it has been. This is our 10th year. First big events, first champs, 2015. Just outside of Miami. Then the next year, just keep adding those big events. I believe we're going to our 8th International Open and our 10th MultiGP Championship here in 2025. Big season. And our 9th edition of Mayhem as well. Coming up, Mayhem, the only team race of its kind, coming up in 2 weeks' time in Dallas, Texas. All the action here on the MultiGP YouTube channel as well. As we get our next set of pilots in here, want to thank one of our new partners here coming into the tail end of the 2024 season. We welcome them back with open arms in 2025. The Pilot Institute, recognized as the official MultiGP Part 107 training provider. Pilot Institute offers courses on drones and airplanes from world-class experts, and they will help you pass the Part 107 or Part Private Pilot exam to take to the skies. So Part 107 or your private pilot license as well. Pilot Institute, pilotinstitute.com, and we announced them as a partner, and I think within about 2 weeks, I was already seeing on the MultiGP Facebook page, people talking about how they were able to get their Part 107 that they pretended to have for so long. They actually got it with thanks to Pilot Institute. Again, they're the official MultiGP Part 107 training provider, and you can visit with them at pilotinstitute.com on the World Wide Web. Also want to thank our friends at Fins FPV. Fly different. They produce high quality and engineered design products for multi-rotors and quadcopters. They specialize in drone racing FPV, long range and freestyle drones as well. Fins FPV saw a bunch of their frames at the 2024 MultiGP Championship. Even saw their engineer champs at the International Open as well. Paulo. Thank you, Fins FPV, for your support of MultiGP. Again, finsfpv.com. Of course, tonight, this is the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Association Sim Tournament. It is a team race. It's in the official sim of MultiGP. You can fly this exact same track as well. All you got to do is download Velocidrone if you've yet to do it and search the CDRC sim track, and you can fly along with the pilots, as it were, and see how you stack up flying solo. But tonight we are flying in a team race format, and behind the scenes, they are setting the stage for our final 3 teams to battle. And in our Group 1, our A-main finale, we're actually going to run 3 pilots per team, each of them doing 25 laps. Timmytron joining us from the land down under. He says, how does the team scoring format work in this one? I must admit, I didn't read the handbook. Yeah, this one, the handbook was in the official CDRA Discord. I had to get special invite. It's been a couple of years. When I was in college, Discord wasn't a thing. I mean, we were using AOL if you wanted to do any group chatting. So yeah, the Discord is where the handbook was. But the format, the way it works, there are, well, in groups 1 and 2, there were 2 pilots per team. In group 1, they had to do 20 laps. In group 2, each pilot had to do 25 laps. Again, each pilot has to hit 25. That was a total of 50 for the team. And so if one pilot only did 23, laps 26, 27, 28 did not count for the other pilot. Each pilot has to hit the required goal, and the winner will be the team that each hit their required number. In Group 1, that was the first team to 40. In Group 2, that was the first team to 50. And here in our Group 1 final with your top 3 teams, your bump up from our earlier group, Purdue, who are 4th in qualifying. And your top 2 teams in qualifying, your second highest qualifier, Northeastern University and Virginia Tech, they're each going to fly 3 pilots. 25 laps will be the goal. And so all 3 pilots to 25. The first team to 75 will decide who is our first ever team race champions here at the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Tournament. Again, in the official sim, a MultiGP Velocidrone. If you don't have the sim, you can purchase it and download it at velocidrone.com. And what an experience it is inside the sim as you start to check out some of those great tracks. The 2025 GQ tracks, global qualifying tracks, are in there. Which one is going to be our official GQ track? That is to be decided. The voting period is on now. The voting period ends in about 8 days, just under a week. March 16 is the end of is the deadline. So you can actually check out all of those tracks in Velocidrone, fly them, and select your favorite. And of course, all the champs tracks, the team tracks, those specialty event tracks, and even this track are in the official sim of MultiGP Drone Racing, Velocidrone. Your top 3 teams are getting set to fly. We got a thumbs up from our room manager, Two Dog, who says they are good to go. Joe, we have the number 4 seed in qualifying, now up 1 position. They're guaranteed top 3, but will they be the champions? It'll be Groovy and Fitz FPV from Purdue, and they're going to tag in Fuzzy Jeff Theory from Oregon State University as their 3rd pilot. There we are, adding 1 to the team. Your second highest team in qualifying, Northeastern University, with Pedro Aditya and Mudakar Helios. And your TQ's top qualifying team, Virginia Tech. That's Bean Bastic, Perseverer, and Mostly Genius RC. They are your top team. So again, 3 pilots per team, 25 laps each pilot. It's the first team to 75, but each team must do their own 25. Let's go green. Just like every MultiGP race and CDRA race, we are going live in less than 5. The A main final for the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Association Sim Tournament. Let's go green. We'll fix it up in post. We're ready for real this time. Take 2. Here we go. 75 lap cavalcade going live in less than 5. We're going to have to do some adjustments here behind the scenes. That's all right. No worries. First team to finish. First team to finish. Got it. Thank you, Timmy Tron. Hoping to see Timmy Tron a little bit later on this season. Timmy Tron, the organizer of CMRC, a Tier 1 MultiGP chapter in Australia. He was at the 2nd International Open, making a little trip across the oceans to Muncie, Indiana. Right now, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday fun day in Australia. I want to welcome each and every one of you. We're working behind the scenes here to try and get the race started. Our pilots are ready, but just a little issue with our timing apparatus. So even in the sim, it's just like that real IRL, in real life experience. Say hello for those watching us here on the East Coast in North America, just after 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. Central, it's about 8 o'clock. On the West Coast of North America, just after 6 o'clock dinner time. Of course, overseas across the pond, UK, say a top of the morning to you, literally 2 a.m. And a good morning to everyone in Central Asia. It's 10 o'clock in the morning in Shenzhen. And for real this time. We're about to go live on the tone in less than 5. We are off to the races, and it looks like BB Peen. That's Pedro, Northeastern University, former IRL champion of the Collegiate Drone Racing Championship, leading the charge here for Northeastern. Remember, they are your second highest seed. Perseverance for your TQs. Virginia Tech running just about 7 gates back onto lap number 2. And Fuzzy Jeff Theory. He is the invite. He's the alternate. Team Purdue by way of Oregon State University. I like it. That's they're not even neighboring colleges. Doing the work. He gets 1 lap in just to start his lap total, and they launch Fitz FPV. Right now, Purdue running third, and we are watching BB Peen. That's Pino working on lap number 4. And now already Pino has lapped the field. He has 1 lap, 1 gate, 34 gates to the good right now. Now, this one is going to be a little bit of a longer one. Not the worst. Each pilot needs to do 25 laps. First team to 75, but it is a hard limit of 25 per pilot. We are just starting. If you're just joining us now, we're still on our first pilot for our top 2 teams. Northeastern second in qualifying, leading by a lap and a half right now, working on lap 6. Virginia Tech running second, about a lap and a half back on lap number 5. And looks like it is going to be 6 laps on the opening session for Pino and Northeastern University. They load their next pilot up. Jolly Stirry Fry. Chai Stir Fry. Heard of a chai tea. You like chai tea? How about a chai stir fry? And you're looking at a 50 gate lead here in the early throws. See those numbers there in the bottom right of your screen? Underneath those team logos. I like it. It shows right now what lap the team is on. When that number is at 75, that means a white flag is flying. They're on their final lap. Each pilot, you can see right below me, that's what lap they are on. See BB Peen right below me? It says 7-1. That means he's done 6 laps. And when he takes off again, he is going to commence lap number 7. But right now on the far side of the screen, you look way over there. That's Chai Stir Fry, y'all. Losing a little bit of the steam that his partner Pino had put down, but still holding off the field here, leading by about 43 gates. That's about a lap and a quarter. Chai Stir Fry. Now, if you're with us in match 1, match 2, we were flying 2 pilots a team. Now we're flying 3, so we'll see who we're going to launch next. Next pilot up here for your leaders, Northeastern. That is going to be their 3rd pilot, Helios. Starting lap 1 for him. Lap 13 for the team of their 75. Lap 1 of his 25. Lap 13 of the 75. Now we're looking at Purdue's digits. Purdue's inching closer. Getting a little bit closer. Just under 50 gates back. Lap and a half back in second. Now you go to 3rd, Virginia Tech. We're not seeing that much of a gap right now, are we? Basically, one lap first to second, one lap second to third. Those numbers are a little wonky because it looks like we've had some crashing. And so the pilot has come in. And so when they take off again, they'll be picking up their gate count about midway through. But it's an early one. It's the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Championship. Super stoked to have each and every one of you with us here on the MultiGP YouTube channel. Tonight's production is brought to you in part by some great partners of the MultiGP Drone Racing organization. I want to thank our friends at Team Black Sheep, Real Serious Toys, along with HD Zero. Experience that HD resolution with next to zero latency. I want to thank our friends at the Pilot Institute, the official Part 107 partner of MultiGP, and Fins FPV as well. They're your headliners of tonight's Collegiate Drone Racing Championship Loss of Drone Tournament. Pilots flew a different track, took the top scores from the top three pilots, pilot scores to rank our teams. And that was part of the journey to get here tonight. As we get into your finish, your A main, your Group 1 finale. This one is being led by your number 2 seed. They are leading by just under a lap. Second is your bump up from Group 2. The number 4 seed Purdue is in second right now. And your top qualifiers trying to catch up, and looks like they may be close. Those numbers are going to jump a little bit because looking at a gate count, Virginia Tech is actually leading on a gate count, but on an overall lap count, it's given it to Northeastern University. Now, why would that be? As I take a look at the pilots that aren't flying, some of them are on gate 33, so it hasn't dinged onto the next lap. So I think, yeah, when you look at the gate count is completely different here for Virginia Tech. Even though it has them back in third on a gate count, they are tied right now with your leaders. We just need to get onto that lead lap. It looks like Boombastic and mostly Genius RC hit that recharge gate and didn't hit the next gate before they pitted, is what I'm guessing. And on a gate count right now, it's back and forth here behind the scenes, looking at a running total between Virginia Tech and Northeastern University. Our entire field right now on that gate count only separated by about 25 gates. Even though the lap total is completely different, it is not separated by much. And your leaders here again by 2 gates, even though it shows 2 laps. That is Northeastern University. And right now, Helios on the sticks. And on the gate count lead, right now, Virginia Tech is leading by about 10 gates. But they seem to be pitting before gate number 1. They go through the recharge gate. And so that's why their lap count is a little bit off, which means when they get to their final pilots, those numbers are going to jump. So even though you're looking at a pair of 24s and a 22, our entire field is only separated by 18 gates. No, we're talking about gate total, lap total. So right now it shows 2 25s and a 24. But on an individual gate total, the 24 is leading. because they haven't been ringing that last gate. They sit with 33 gates. See that leaderboard right below me? So look at the purple right now. Perseverance not flying. He sits with 33. Look at another pilot. Look at Fitz FPV in the turquoise. Not flying right now. See how he sits with gate number 1? That goes against his gate total. So the purple have a different strategy. So that number is going to rocket at the end. So our entire field here, we're almost at the midway point. Fitz FPV is on lap 11 when he takes off again. 25 per pilot. Our entire field right now is very, very even though it shows you 26, 27, 28. The 26 is technically leading right now on that gate count. And our entire field here separated by less than 40 gates. Less than a lap, first to second to third. Of course, at the end of the day, really, it's that lap accumulation total. So right now, working on lap number 29 is Purdue, your number 4 seed, bumping up. And on the gate total, your top qualifiers still in the lead. Now, they haven't been leading on gate total the entire time. We've been talking about that, where they've been coming in strategy. So those numbers are going to jump up when your gate totals become lap totals. But they were in second on that gate total in a tight second, and now they are starting to pull away. We're taking a look right now at Fuzzy Jeff. For Purdue, they are sitting in second, 3 gates back, or 3 gates ahead, rather, of Northeastern, who's running third. Right now in the air for Northeastern, we have Pino, BB Peen, and he is ripping. We watch that line of sight behind the trees, the red chaser, Northeastern. They are staying in the thick of things right now. And now you see everyone with 31 laps. And so that makes it official. Virginia Tech now leading on the gate count. And they were up there on the lap count as well. Currently in the air for Virginia Tech, mostly Genius RC. Mostly Genius RC working on lap 11. Remember, each pilot needs to do 25. The team total we need to get to is 75, and we're not even at the midway point yet. Our entire field separated by 44 gates. So Virginia Tech, mostly Genius RC on the sticks for them. And they are working on lap number 34, but they have now accumulated 1,000 gates. So again, we'll be watching that strategy. See the rest of their team sitting there with that 33. They're not going to change that strategy. Makes it a little tougher for us to figure out and follow along, but it is definitely working for them. They've kind of been a sleeper there. Other pilots looking at that lap count, looks like it's pretty close. I mean, really, you look at Northeastern, they got 36 laps recorded, or sorry, 35 laps recorded. They're working on 36. And now Purdue, same situation. And looking at Northeastern and Purdue, they're only separated by about 6 gates right now as they work on lap number 36. But then you got to jump up 25 gates to your leaders, Virginia Tech, even though they've only now got 35 laps recorded, working on 36. They are leading on that gate count, and it's going to be bing, bing, bing at the end as they will, they'll jump by 2 laps when they get to their final pilot. So really, it's time to go full send. Perseverance on the sticks right now for your leaders, Virginia Tech. As we take a look right now, At Northeastern University, they just had a pilot up and get ready to launch their next one. They went from Pinot to Helios. So we now take a look at Fuzzy Jeff Theory in the turquoise. You see doing that stitch it up section there between the Bando buildings. He's working on lap number 13 of his 25. Lap 38 for his team. You look at that leaderboard right now, all three teams working on lap number 38. And on that individual gate count, the advantage still to Virginia Tech as they continue collecting those laps. Perseverance still out there. So that is going to put Purdue in second right now on that gate count. Not by much. They're 30 gates back from our leaders. You see their lap count. They just went on to lap number 40 combined. Northeastern just went on to lap number 40 combined. But they are still that gate count back. 41 gates to the good. Your leaders, Virginia Tech. We're watching Fuzzy Jeff Theory still. Inside that Bando, over to that triple dive gate. About halfway through, lap number 16, and it looks like he hits that recharge gate. And we launch Fitz FPV, your next one to fly. As we look to the left-hand side of your screen, back onto Northeastern University, this is Pinot working on lap number 14, about to go into lap number 15. And on to lap 15, we take him. Now, stitch it up section there between the Bandos. That's halfway through lap number 15. So far, 15 is the number. That was the most laps recorded. You're on board with Pinot there. He came up on a little bit of lap traffic. Now Pinot goes on to lap number 17. Pinot from Northeastern University. They were second in qualifying. And right now they are second overall on that gate count. They're working on lap number 44, but 1,260 gates. That means they're inching closer to Virginia Tech. Taking a quick look, talking about 14 gates back. Will Pinot carry the torch and put Northeastern number one ahead of Virginia Tech? Virginia Tech still leading now 12 gates to the good, even though their lap counts back. We've touched on that numerous times. You can see they come in after 33 laps and yet to go to advance it onto that next lap. That's their strategy, and it's working for them as they are still holding the lead now. Probably, I would say for about 3/4 of this race, they've been number one on that gate count. As they continue to lead that field now by a lap of gates, 33 gates to the good. Even though it shows some second, they are now working on lap 46 as Purdue and Virginia Tech now get 46 recorded, working on lap 47. The big total looking for 75. Gate total, it's going to be a bunch. Gate total is 2,475. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 2,475 as a team. So we're just past that midway point right now as we're about to approach 1,400 gates. So we're about 60% of the way through. Still watching Virginia Tech fly away with this one, mostly Genius RC. And now it is a difference of 3 gates. Purdue leading on that gate count, and they are really within reach of second place. We're on board with Groovy right now. at that triple dive. So 3 gates, again, the 33 makes it a little interesting. Mostly Genius RC is on in the air right now for leaders, Virginia Tech. And it looks like mostly Genius RC is now pushing it forward. Their lead, 4 gates. Mostly Genius RC for your leaders, Virginia Tech. As we have Fuzzy Jeff Theory in the air right now for Purdue. Now, he was a guy who was on Oregon State University. He is the invite. He is the designate, the alternate. And he's going to try and keep that gate count as tight as possible. Try and get Purdue in the win. And he's able to do it. I mean, they're only back 6 gates. He's only lost 2. So he has got some momentum going. As we take a look at him working his way through the double gates now around that turning pole up high on our bando into that stitch it up section. He's working on lap number 18 for him of his 25. Lap number 53 for the team. And now we have just taken the lead. Fuzzy Jeff Theory just put Purdue number 1 on the gate count, and now we got an answer. If you call, I will answer. That is Perseverance now reclaiming the lead for Virginia Tech. Fuzzy Jeff Theory started with a 4-gate deficit, took it to a 6-gate deficit, then put the team up by 1, and now they are back a couple of gates, but not the worst. Perseverance flying for your leaders, Virginia Tech. But now we look to who's flying right now. I think we had a switch for Purdue. Fuzzy Jeff Theory back up for Purdue. I think we had Fitz FPV up there for a little bit. Now Fuzzy Jeff Theory back in there. See if he can continue that momentum. They're trailing by 4 gates. 20 laps to go, give or take. 20 laps to go for the entire field. And it's a difference of very few gates, less than 15 right now as Fuzzy Jeff Theory comes in. They're back in second. And they put Fitz FPV back on the sticks here for Purdue. Still sitting in second. 9 gates back off of our leaders, Virginia Tech, our TQ's top qualifying team. Perseverance on the sticks for them. About due for a pit stop here in a lap or a bit, I believe. Let's see what happens here. He comes up by that the recharge gate. Perseverance staying out there for a few. And leading by 3 gates. Perseverance trying to hold off. Our next pilot launched here for Purdue. Fitz FPV back up. Remember, he launched. I think he had a bit of an issue. Recharge gate. And he is now back up in the sequence. And it's a separation of 1 gate. Still with the advantage to Virginia Tech. But Purdue now taking the lead. And Fitz FPV as he goes on to his number, lap 19. And you're seeing the lap count as well with Purdue answering. But now let's see what is going on with Virginia Tech. Bean Bastic now up working on his lap number 18. They're now back in second, but we're talking a difference of 2 gates. Now it's a mathematical tie. Now you're going to put Bean Bastic taking Virginia Tech back up in the lead, leading by 3 gates with another 15 laps to go. 3 gates. This is intense right here. Now 2 gates. We are doing some damage right now, huh? Groovy up in the air for Purdue. They've dropped into second. Their deficit right now, 4 gates. On board with Groovy right there. He is looking for the purple tracers in front of him. Bean Bastic is about 7 gates ahead here on the track. And that's about how much Purdue is trailing right now. It's a difference of 10 gates. 10 gates. And so if Groovy makes the pass by the pilot, doesn't matter what the lap count is, that would put Purdue back up in the lead. And looks like we're still able to hold them off there with Virginia Tech. Bean Bastic doing some good damage, comes in. Now we launch Perseverance for your leaders, Virginia Tech. They are leading by about 13 gates. Virginia Tech in the purple. Perseverance, your leading pilot for the team. Looking at some even numbers there on Virginia Tech. Bean Bastic and Perseverance are your top two pilots here right now. Perseverance flying. He just went on to lap number 22. His other teammate got 21 laps recorded. Still, you look at that gate count with that 33, has to advance it one more gate to get the lap count to even up, but pretty even seating there. And then we drop only one gate back to their other teammate, mostly Genius RC. You can see that that lap count, the bottom of the field, pretty tight. This one could come down to the final 11 laps, about 11 laps to go here for our field. And we are continuing to watch our leaders in the purple. Virginia Tech, Perseverance, your pilot. On the left-hand side of your screen, we're going to go on board with Northeastern University. We haven't talked about them in a while. They are not too far back as well. Even though you show a lap count difference of about one lap, looking at gate count, they're only about 32 gates. So they're just under a lap away from our leaders, Virginia Tech. Looking at that gate count, that lap count as well. And so as we look at a pair of 65s and a 66 on that official lap count total, means we have just under 10 laps to go for all three teams, and nothing has been decided. It is a heater as we get set to round out our podium and crown our 2025 Collegiate Drone Race Champions Sim Tournament Champions here tonight. The purple of Virginia Tech is what we're chasing, as we are right now on board with another Northeastern pilot. I believe that was right now Chai is flying. Now we're looking at some laps being done. Perseverance of Virginia Tech has now rung the bell, has got 25 in. Purdue's Fuzzy Jeff Theory, that is the alternate, has now got 25 laps recorded. So they are done, and it is just going to come down to the remaining two teammates to get that total up to 75. Your leaders still Virginia Tech, mostly Genius RC on the air for them, as we are right now on board with Helios on the left-hand side of your screen. Northeastern University working on lap number 20. They are about 55 laps back from our leaders. Anything can happen in these remaining 7 or 8 laps. Purple, Virginia Tech leading by 2 gates again. Fitz FPV in the air right now for Purdue. He seems to be the one that keeps taking Purdue from second into first, and deja vu all over again. Purdue now up in the lead. They're working on lap number 70. They have about a 14-gate lead to the good right now over Virginia Tech, dropping into second. In the air for Virginia Tech, they got Bean Bastic. He's working on lap number 2. They still have mostly Genius RC to finish up 3 laps. They finished already with Perseverance, and now about 25 gates back. Look at the lap count. It is close. Now we got 2 pilots finished for Purdue. That's Fitz FPV. He's the guy who kept taking the team from second into first. Fuzzy Jeff Theory, the alternate, was the first to finish for the team. And so now for the win, it is all going to come down to Groovy. Groovy's working now on lap number 22. That means he has 4 laps to go. I think he just did 2. So he's got to do 6 laps. And I think he can probably hit that recharge gate in between there and stay up to finish things up. Let's see how that plays out. Groovy. And now we look to Virginia Tech in the purple. They still have 2 teams to finish up. Bean Bastic about to finish up his last lap. Bean Bastic just took the lead over Purdue. Virginia Tech now back in the lead. Now Boombastic with his 25 done. He joins his teammate Perseverance on the sidelines, and they turn Destiny over to Mostly Genius RC, who has 2 laps to go. So the purple Virginia Tech, they are now back into second. Groovy just did the Fitzy move and put Purdue number 1. Now you got to switch up in the game as well. Mostly Genius RC just put Virginia Tech number 1. Mostly Genius RC just crossed onto his final lap. This could be the final lap. Groovy for Purdue, he gets onto the final lap. It's literally coming down to the final lap, and they're separated by 7 gates. Mostly Genius RC leading for Virginia Tech. Will he get to the checkered first? He has 5 gates to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the purple gets it. Virginia Tech is your 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Championship team. That is going to give second to Purdue. They get across the line with their 70 laps recorded, and your second runners-up, third on our podium, will be Northeastern University. So Purdue, that is a big showing for them as they finish up as your reserve champions. Not the worst at all, huh? They qualified 4th, and they finish up 2nd. That is after a bump up as well, a little extra flying time. And who would have thought that it would come down to literally the final lap right there? Groovy tried his absolute best, but looking at Mostly Genius RC to bring it across the line first. Getting the win for the team by 7.4 seconds. 7.5 seconds separating first and second after 75 laps recorded for the team. And of course, we like to finish things up, and there is Helios across the line, and one last pilot to fly. That is Pino. Pino, your last one to work things up, and so all 9 pilots will do their 25. All 3 teams will do their 75. And the big W and the win going to Virginia Tech. And so it is officially your second runners up, third overall, going to be Northeastern University with Helios, Chai Stir Fry, and BBP in your second runners up, third on our podium. Your reserve champions, Team Purdue, with their alternate Fuzzy Jeff Theory, who made it from Group 1 as a bump up from OSU, joins Purdue to finish up as your reserve champions with Groovy and Fitz FPV. And your champs tonight, Virginia Tech, your TQs, Mostly Genius RC, Persevere, and Bean Bastic. I see the Discord on our screen, which means our pilots are now in the official lobby, and they're going to talk to their adoring fans here tonight. What is up, Virginia Tech, our 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Champions? You got us there, Bean Bastic, Perseverance, and Mostly Genius RC. Are you not on the live stream channel? Oh, we're in the pilot lobby? Okay, let's do that. Let's hit some buttons. Confirm. Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? We are just hitting some buttons here as we want to take a chance to talk to our champions. The big night, Collegiate Drone Racing Championship. Your TQs pull it off in the very end. We got Beambastic, Perseverance, Mostly Genius RC with us. You guys can hear me? Oh, we can't join that channel? Oh, our live streaming guy can't join it. That's what happened. Right? Oh, there we are. We got our live streaming guy. We're seeing it happen here live in the chat. Of course, we want to thank Henry, also William8868, Jacob Briggs, Phila Blasta for being with us in the MultiGP YouTube channel. Super stoked to have everyone worldwide watching our sim tournament, our team race format here tonight. Thanks to our cast and crew, Two Dog, our room manager, and of course our event manager on the entire event, getting things from track design to qualification to our championship. Thank you for your work. Of course, Henry helping us out behind the scenes as well with our MultiGP marketing and promotions, and also Dougie, our boy in the truck, producing tonight's live stream as well. Thank you to the team. And it looks like Dougie is now in the pilot chat. We're seeing all kinds of faces. And let's chat with our champs, Beambastic, Perseverance, Mostly Genius RC. Start with Mostly Genius RC. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
There he is. What's up, buddy? Must have been good to get the win, the final lap to get the checkered for the team. It was a long journey to get there, but what was it like carrying the flag across for our winners tonight, Virginia Tech?
But yeah, it's been a close game the whole time, so we had to manage a lot of what we were choosing to do as our pits and how much we had to push. As you saw, I crashed a lot of times, but we were able to keep enough approximate consistency to get the win. Yes,
sir. And I mean, it literally came down to that last lap. They got onto the same lap as you, and I think 7.5 seconds, not very many gates separating first and second when it came down to the nail biter. What about Perseverance? What did you think about this team racing format? A little different. Did you enjoy it? Do we have Virginia? I don't see Perseverance in the chat. The Discord. Maybe we don't have him. Do we have Beambastic? Beambastic's there. Beambastic. First, he's on mute. There he is.
I'm here.
There we are. Welcome. Yeah, just like me. We got to learn how to use Discord. It's been a while. What'd you think about the team racing format? A little bit different. How did it play out?
It's a pretty good format. I mean, honestly, when I heard 25 laps, it was a little like, that's a lot, but it ended up being really fun. You know, it was 3 competitive teams here tonight. I think we put on some good racing. It was a really good time. You know, I had a battle with Pino on the second lap, and then I crashed, and it was like sad, but you know, just kept it consistent. We had a good time, and happy we came out with the win.
You guys were the top qualifiers as well. How did you pull that off? What was the strategy there? Just get everyone in there flying and practicing? Did you do any group sessions, group lobbies?
Well, we practiced today in 45-mile-an-hour gusts. It was incredibly windy here at Virginia Tech, and yeah, we just practiced in real life. We went out, got some Mexican food, hopped on the sim for about an hour before this, and you know, we felt ready it was a fun track, you know, nothing too crazy, so we just kept it smooth, kept it clean, had a good time.
There you go. That's a strategy. Mexican food, of course, Beambastic, always a fan of Mexican, and I like chalupa from time to time. Definitely gets through it. Congratulations to our podium once again. Your second runners up, third on our podium, Northeastern University with Pino, Chai, Stir Fry, Helios. Your reserve champions, Purdue, Fitz FPV, Groovy, and their alternate Fuzzy Jeff Theory. And our champions, the first ever team race sim tournament for the Collegiate Drone Racing Association, Virginia Tech with Beambastic, Perseverance, Mostly Genius RC. And of course, shout out to the entire team that put them in that group as your top qualifiers as well. Scobber, Lorcher, Notorier, CD Cornwell, YKEF, and the rest of the team at Virginia Tech, your 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Tournament Champions. We heard them talking about it. They were flying in 45-mile-an-hour winds in preparation for the season. And what a season we have coming up here, the MultiGP YouTube channel. We got some micro drone racing coming up next week. Follow all of the pages to see where that's going to be. Of course, we're back in just under a week and a half, right? 13 days with the 9th edition of Mayhem, the only team race of its kind, racing IRL in Dallas, Texas. 9th edition of Mayhem, kind of like what you saw here tonight, except no lap limit. We start at dawn. We fly that checkered at dusk. 10 pilots per team running in the same enduro format that we featured here in Velocidrone as well. That is coming up April 5 to 6. So much going on. Of course, our global qualifier season is about to commence. Make sure you vote for your track, your favorite GQ course. Voting ends March 16th. That's coming up here in about 7 days, just under a week to get in. And of course, tonight's Collegiate Drone Racing Sim Tournament was in preparation, just as Virginia Tech was practicing for the big event, the 2025 Collegiate Drone Racing Championships in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, at the Carolina Research Lab and Lampe Joint Department of Bioengineering in Chapel Hill at UNC. And that is going to be a big one. April 5 to 6, our Collegiate Drone Racing Championship. Mayhem is March 21 to 23. GQ voting, as I said, ends coming up March 16. So many days. Thanks to all the team who contributed. Thanks to G-Man as well. I would have been totally lost without your widget. Certainly appreciate it. And thanks to each and every one of you for being with us here tonight at the MultiGP YouTube channel. We are going to be back very soon. And it is MultiGP X. Yeah, buddy. It's all about X and Twitter and all the social faces as we celebrate 10 years of MultiGP drone racing. We will see you at a drone race very, very soon. Have a pleasant evening and even better tomorrow. Thanks for being a part.